Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, and how are you? I hope you are having a fantastic day today. It is Success Coaching Live, and my name is Eric Greid, and I am your success coach. And I'm so glad you take time every morning to jump in here and join me and share ideas and give feedback and comments. And the offline comments that I get or the after comments that I sometimes get in a private message, I so appreciate you guys. So don't be afraid if you're like, I just want to reach out, send them a message, ask them a question, follow up. You can do it here in the conversation because maybe the question you have is something everybody has, or do it offline. Good morning, Enrique. Okay, y'all got to jump over and start watching Enrique. He is blowing up his real estate business and his dreams and his desires in a big way. And so I applaud you, Enrique, for living large and making a lot of noise. Love having you in here. Good morning, Julia. It is great to see you as well. I think I saw Steve and Marianne drop in. Can't see who else because it went by so fast. But if you will, stop in, say hello, say good morning, say where you're from. We have gone so international. We've got Dubai, Japan, Thailand, and yesterday somebody from Fiji. I mean, come on, who doesn't want to go to Fiji? I'll take a day in Fiji sitting on the island thinking about all this, thinking about. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Greg. It's so good to see you guys. So I want to jump in, get today's lesson started because I know you guys got busy mornings. You're going out, you're killing it, you're making it a success, and I don't want to slow you down from that. So I ran across a quote a while back, and then I was talking to my son the other night at the dinner table, and we have this pumpkin thing going on in the back. I don't know if you can see it. And the vines are going literally everywhere. They are not stopping. They are, I feel like if one pumpkin patch can take over an acre, ours is going to take over two. And he asked me, so why is it getting so big? Why does it keep going? Why does it keep making so many flowers and so many pumpkins? And the curiosity question came up, and I said, well, because that's what it does. And then it reminded me of a quote that I had once read that, trees grow to their fullest potential. They don't ask how big they're going to be. They just keep going until they know. And I thought, and then it finishes off with something to the effect of, yet why humans, divinely inspired with the same gift, don't do the same. And so that idea really sort of resonated with me as we were talking about the pumpkin patch. And he kept saying, well, how big is it going to go? When is it going to know to stop? Da, 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 da. And all of those questions that he had. And I did my best in my dad way to answer them. But what it also started me thinking about is us as people, us as success people, us as transformers, us as thinkers, that we're given that same spirit, that same divineness, that same abundance to pull from. And yet we sort of like, oh, well, as long as I get 10 new clients. Well, as soon as my bank account hits this. Well, as soon as blank, blank, blank. You fill in the blank. I'll stop. I'm big enough. I'm large enough. I'm whatever-ness. Enough that I'm seeking. When I get down to my high school weight, when I'm able to run a half marathon, when this and this happened in my life, we sort of say, this is my stopping point. This is my big point. This is my max point of achievement. Really? Why did you decide that? How did you decide that? Is that because that's all the bigger you think you can get? Is that all the bigger you want to get? Is that all the bigger you're entitled to get? Or are you afraid to dream beyond that point? Because dreaming beyond that point, whether it's financial or weight or clients or business, is too impossible for you. That you're not willing to believe that you're entitled to maybe one extra client, one extra dollar, one extra pound, one extra book sale, one extra whatever. That you're only granted this much. And anything beyond that is selfish and wrong and unavailable to you. The tree in the backyard, the pumpkin plant that I was speaking to didn't wake up and say, okay, I'm going to be a pumpkin plant and I'm going to be a happy pumpkin plant and I'm going to grow my little pumpkins. But as soon as I get 6 pumpkins on the vine, stopping. Can't go anymore. Not going to do anymore. Just anything more than 7, I'm not entitled to. Anything bigger than 7 pumpkins, that's just ego, and that's just selfishness, and that's just greed, and that's just wrong. And I don't want to be one of those kind of pumpkin plants that everybody talks about because I have too much and I've acquired 8 pumpkins on my vine. No, the pumpkin plant said, as long as there are resources in the soil, sun in the sky, and water raining down on me, I'm going to keep putting out pumpkins. I'm going to put out so many pumpkins that people look at me and go, that is the most abundant pumpkin plant in the world. And you know what? I've already got plans to harvest those seeds because clearly that pumpkin plant is unstoppable. That pumpkin plant has a mindset of success. That pumpkin plant is thinking abundant thoughts and going full out onto it. I celebrate that pumpkin plant. I'm like, dude, you go, you show me up. You show me that you could take over the whole backyard and I have to cancel the lawn service because you're pulling the resources around you into you and through you and out of you. And it's not thinking, oh, somebody's going to come by and steal my pumpkins, so I might as well stop growing them. Somebody's going to cut off my vine and I might as well give up now before I even start. No. That pumpkin plant, as silly as it sounds, is going full out, full time, full speed into it. Why aren't you? Honestly. What's that thing got that you don't? Oh, it's got self-doubt. It's got worry. It's got fear. It's got negative voices running around in its head. It's got people talking about it. I know. If only there was another pumpkin plant sitting next to it, it wouldn't be doing that because you know what? Pumpkin plants talk and other pumpkin plants listen. Come on, people. Let us wake up and get real with ourselves. The reason we don't have what we want and we're not going after it full out is because we're letting all of the negative voices around us dictate it instead of the resources that we are firmly planted into. You were planted into a place of abundance and growth and opportunity and success. And you were given permission by your dreams, your desires, and your divine to pull up those resources into you and push them out across the universe if you wanted them. And the only thing you've decided to do instead is say, I'm only going to take this much from the earth. I'm only going to take this much from my God. I'm only going to take this much from the universe around me. I believe in a limited universe, and so therefore I'm going to live in limited thinking. How's that working? Because I'll tell you, I know personally from my morning runs that when I set a marker in my head, like, okay, if I make it to the lamppost, to the corner, to the yellow house, I'm doing good. I sort of slow down, kick back, roll back a little bit, like 3 or 4 steps before that. Pumpkins don't have gremlins. Well, you know what? You choose your gremlins, Greg. You choose them. Let's all be pumpkin heads. How's that, Greg? Let's agree we're going to be pumpkin heads starting today. We're not going to allow the gremlins to live in our head. We're not going to let them in. We're not going to give them space. We're not going to let them occupy our thinking. We're going to assume that everything around us is abundant. Everything around us is available. Everything around us is limitless. And we are going to pull and pull and pull and pull and pull from those resources. And we are going to grow as big as we can until we stop growing. And then we're going to take a rest and we're going to look around and say, okay, what have I grown? Now, what can I harvest from that to keep the growth going? When we build businesses of success, we aren't trying to get it to be $1 million business. We're trying to create $1 million worth of resources so that we can go to the next place. When we create businesses online and we get 60 or 70 or 100,000 people following us, that's not the end point. We now have 60, 70, 100,000 people following us so that we can call that army into creating something bigger into the world and leave a larger legacy. Now, Greg, you don't know me, but that word, that exactly. Poop on those gremlins. Down, buddy, down. Yeah, so the idea that shut those gremlins down and let their vines grow. Greg, I am glad you're here. Thank you for stopping in and adding into it. Yes, but what you're building right now isn't what you're going to finish with. What you're building right now isn't the end point. What you've written down in your goal book, your vision, your planner, your diary, whatever you want to call it, that's not the end point. That's just the point that you get to leap off and see what comes next, and next, and next, and next, and next. That pumpkin plant out there didn't start on its own. Somebody grew a pumpkin plant that had a lot of ambition. They harvested the seeds, they passed them along to me, and guess what? We're going to do the same. What you're building, you will harvest, and then you will replant and replant and replant and grow. All right, y'all. Ingle Rock is in the house. She's my boss. She's my buddy. She's my coach. She's my trainer. She's my mentor. She is my guide. So I got to kick it up 2 notches on this pumpkin story. She's going to have to go back and listen from the top. But you pumpkin heads, beloved pumpkin heads, let's agree today to be pumpkin heads and cast out the demons, cast out the fears, cast out the doubts, cast out the insecurities, cast out the limited thinking, and spread. Go wide, go deep, go full, go on. And just by chance, if by chance the universe runs out of resources, you will be the first person to ever experience it. And that is what we're talking about. And guess what? That'll generate more resources. So you live in abundance, you live in opportunity, you live in prosperity, you live in divine. You live in a place that what you think you can create into the universe, if only you choose to be a pumpkin head. All right? That's all you got to do. Let's all be pumpkin heads. I don't know. How many times did our parents? I don't know. So here in the West, for those that are outside of it, it's not uncommon for our parents to call us, oh, come here, pumpkin. Come here, pumpkin. One of those loving terms. Or petit chouchou. It's funny, in Canada, they call it my little cabbage head. But in the U.S., we call it my little pumpkin. Go out and celebrate your pumpkinness today. That's what I got. That's the message. Go out and live as if there is no limit to how big you can grow. Quit setting those limits on yourself. Quit defining how big, how much, how tall, how small, how whatever you're going to have. How many clients, how much money you're going to have in the bank account, how skinny, how tall, whatever it is. Quit saying when you'll know it's enough and start letting the universe tell you when it's enough. Start letting the divine say, ooh, I need you to move all of that pumpkinness over here because I got something bigger I need you to do. Quit, thanks Rasheen. Quit defining the top and just define the direction you want to go. All right? All right. So yeah, all of this, because my son asked me how big the pumpkin plant in our backyard was going to grow, and I didn't have an answer. Sometimes dads don't have the answer. They just have the direction it should go. So now we're going to start seeing if we can get the pumpkin to go like all the way up the hill in the backyard and touch the fence. And then it was funny because as we talked about it, my son was like, wouldn't it be cool if the pumpkin like went into the neighbor's yard and they had pumpkins? And he started thinking about how his little pumpkin plant could like feed the entire neighborhood with pumpkins. It was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. That's all I can say. So I appreciate it. Good morning, Bobby. I haven't seen you in a while. So glad to see you back. See some other people that jumped in. Take a moment, say hello. Welcome the rest of the group in. Let us know where you're from, what you're doing, what you got going on, because I love a community of sharing. Which, by the way, I need to do a second video. I may do that over on the YouTube channel later today. Doing a lot of research on social media and social blogging and all of this kind of stuff, because that's kind of the business world we're in. And I ran across a couple really phenomenal ideas about Facebook. And I know so many people are like, oh, I wish I could do the Facebook Live like you. And how could you do this? All that chatter. Got some wisdom I got to dump over there. So I'll take care of that. I promise this week. I'll do one Facebook Live or YouTube Live this week. Actually, I got to do two. Oh, Lord. You people put the pressure on. All right, I'll take care of that this week, and I'll post that information. Maybe we'll make the YouTube channel a bit more about social media, growing businesses in social media, that kind of stuff. And we'll just leave this to our morning success thinking. Loved your feedback on that. Tell me if you're in, you're out, you think it's a good idea, bad idea. Maybe YouTube channel is about the business building piece, and this is about the mindset piece. I don't know. Tell me. I'm here to serve you. All right, until tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern, you guys go out and live life with success. You are so worthy of it, and the universe has so much of it to give you, if only you will dive fully into it. I appreciate you guys so much, so much. And again, let me know what you think. Maybe YouTube channel. I'll post a video a week, 2 times a week over there about business, more business focus, more business strategy ideas, and keep this about getting this in the right direction. All right, till we get together tomorrow morning, have a great one, guys. Go out and be pumpkin heads. I know, everybody should post, I like that, Raji. I think everybody needs to post a meme. The other day I asked Jesus to give me guidance on what path to follow, and he said, let me know. I can't see the bottom, and I'm afraid to hit the screen, so I'll have to catch up on that, Julia. I will tell you often, and personal question in faith, when I seek divine God, and I say, tell me the direction to go, he is often yelling back, I've shown you, just listen. I am so believing and so bent that I need to go this way. And he's got all of this lined up and like put neon signs and sparklers and fireworks and all of this stuff over here. But yet I'm like, no, that's somebody else's idea, dream, desire, path, strength, whatever. I need to go over here. So for me, Julia, I go into my be still and know. And I will sit quietly in a moment of meditation, and I will close my eyes and I will picture different paths that I'm hearing. If I go do this, if I go do this, if I end up here, the different paths that I'm experiencing, and I will listen from down here. And I'll breathe in, and you'll know because something will be like, ooh, that's exciting. Kind of like the Christmas present under the tree that you really want to open, but you have to go through the other ones first. And that's the one that I'm like, ooh, there we go, and yet I don't often get a chance to feel that, hear that, if I'm busy up in here, down on my computer, in my vision planning, listening to other coaches tell me what I should be building and doing and creating to grow my... So, Julia, on that, I'll finish reading your comment and maybe reply offline, but for me, when I'm seeking that direction, when I'm seeking that guidance, when I'm seeking that where should I go, what should I do, where do you need me, I got to go all the way down. I got to break it all the way down, all the way off, and then I do that imaging game. Good morning, Gail. We're talking about being a pumpkin head. I do that imaging where I'll see one path, another path. Even if somebody's told me it, like, oh, you'd be really good at doing this, or you'd be really great at doing that, or maybe you should think about this. I'll put those paths, those destinations, those journeys in front of me, and I'll look at it, and I'll explore it, and I'll fantasize, and I'll dream about it. But then I'll breathe a few times, typically 3 times. And by the 3rd time, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. And then, or, And then, one will be like, nah. And that's the one I normally think is the one that I should begin down. What I do know in all perfectness is that even if I don't get it right the first time, it doesn't mean it's going away forever. It just means the road to achieving it might take a little bit more, and I might need to be molded and changed along the process differently. So I hope that helps you, Julia. If not, maybe somebody else needs to share it, see it, know it. So take a moment, share this out with a couple people if you would. You never know who's around you that is waiting on some message to be dropped on them. And you may be the vehicle, the channel, the motion to get it there. So share it out. Let other people know about it. All right? I appreciate you guys. Got to jump, got to go. We got busy days. Go out and live life with success. You are so worthy of it, and the universe has it to give to you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Reggie.